Today we head out into the majestic wilderness armed with only some gear and our camera in hopes of catching some awe-inspiring photos as we explore parks. Hey guys, and welcome to Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Will Meadows.
And I'm Sara Meadows, and today we're previewing Parks. This is designed by Henry Audubon, and it's being brought to Kickstarter by Keymaster Games.
It's a 2 to 5 player strategic movement and set collection game, and it's beautifully illustrated in part by the 59 Parks print series, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. But we've got a preview copy here right now, so let's go ahead and take a look at how to play.
To set up the game, place out 3 park cards and 3 gear cards, then place the canteen deck, 4 season cards, and 1 year card.
Construct your trail based on your number of players, and then lay out the bonus resource tokens based on the weather pattern from the season card.
Give each player their 2 hikers, their campfire card, a gear card, and you're ready to begin.
On their turn, players can move one of their hikers as far along the path as they would like. Players can only move forward though, and they can only share a space with another hiker if they have a fire to share.
On each space along the path, players will be able to collect resources. Sometimes they'll be able to take a photo or pick up a canteen, and water can later be added to the canteen in order to gain bonus actions or resources.
When players reach the end of the trail, they relight their fire, and then they have several options to choose from. They can buy gear, although the price goes up as each player arrives, or claim the first player token for the next round. They can reserve a park or turn in tokens to visit one for victory points.
At the start of each round of the game, the trail will get shuffled and 1 card will be added. A new season begins and weather tokens will be added.
After 4 seasons, the player with the most victory points from their combined photos and park captures will win the game. The National Poster Retrospectus set up the 59 Parks print series in 2015 as a way of celebrating our national parks, which is uber cool. They commissioned a bunch of really prominent poster designers and put together a ton of artwork. Keymaster has teamed up with those guys to bring that artwork into a very cool little game.
Yes, I like that they use the larger tarot-sized cards to feature the artwork. I also love that they incorporated the actual features that you will see at the park into the game. So you will be hiking along the trail and you'll be picking up resources, and those tokens must match the park that you're going to visit. So for example, if you visit Mesa Verde National Park, you're mostly going to see mountains, and those are the tokens that you'll need to pick up to visit that park.
The interesting thing about the game is that it follows that same strategic movement thing that we've seen in Luxor and several other games this year, where you can't go back, you've got to go forward, and you've got to be really thoughtful about which meeple you move because the resources in the game are very limited. Those mountain peaks are actually pretty hard to get, and so you've got to be able to get your first guy on it, get his, then get to the spot where you get to duplicate another person's location and get some more, and work towards maybe even future levels of fulfilling those cards, because you may not be able to get it all in that first pass through.
Yeah, you're limited on how many parks that you can visit. You can only visit the park once you get to the end of the trail, and so you'll only be able to do that 8 times, 8 parks that you'll be able to visit. And so you'll really have to be very thoughtful about what you pick up along the trail, and how you use your campfire strategically. And then there are ways to mitigate if you aren't able to do exactly what you'd like to do. You can pick up gear or canteens that will allow you to do extra things on your turn to help you get the resources that you need.
Yeah, we've played the game a number of times, and the game does have a lot of cards with it, so you're not going to get the same exact experience every time. That trail will be made up of different things, the seasons, the weather, all of that changes. I will say that I don't feel like that dramatically changes your experience. You might have a different end goal where you're trying to get, things with trees, and that gives you extra bonus points, or it might be mountains the next time. But overall, it's a very similar experience as you play through it, but it's a really enjoyable experience because it's light, it's easy to jump into, it hasn't been hard to teach. We need to play it with more players. I think we've tried it with 2 and 3. I don't think we've hit 4 and 5. That may cause even more changes, which would be interesting. you'd obviously have a longer path and more stealing of each other's spaces and stuff, so you probably get a more interesting experience out of that. But we've had a lot of fun with it. If it sounds like something you would enjoy, check it out on Kickstarter right now, and then be sure to subscribe to Tantrum House, and also give us your comments. Let us know what your favorite strategic movement game is. Let us know what your thoughts are on the National Parks print series, and let us know if you're backing parks. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Catch you next time. Wilderness, armed only with some gear and our camera in hopes of capturing 5-player area. Nope. The National Poster National Poster Retrospectus. 59 print series. 59 parks print series. 59 print series. 59. The National Poster Retrospectus set up. Sheesh. I feel like I'm rocking it here.
You are.